わかった。参加者に URL がそこに。はいはい。
発言中だけど全然聞こえない。聞こえるから。はいね。
あと聞こえないんですか？
So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to now start our today's program. Thank you very much for joining the start. This is the first collaborative event between Chetro and Latitude59. My name is Raul Allikivi. I'm an entrepreneur living in Japan, and I will be moderating our today's event. We have 11 startups today, mainly from Nordic countries, and winners will be invited to Kyoto next year. Judges will choose one winner after their pitches, and today we have invited Mr. Makino from Monotsukuri Ventures and Mr. Suzuki from ATR as judges. They are the most important people at the startup ecosystem in Kyoto, so it's a great opportunity for us. Mr. Makino and Mr. Suzuki, thank you very much for joining us today. Also, Mr. Yoshito, who is Chetro's correspondent in the Baltics, and Mr. Makino from Chetro Kyoto will join us today as judges. Also, everybody can choose another winner with our voting system in Zoom. So please. Seems we have some issues. Okay, and also what is important is that today we have also simultaneous interpretation opportunity. So people who want to listen to this event in Japanese, then you can actually choose the interpretation function in the down right corner, and you have to choose Japanese. もう用意しております。日本語で聞きたい方は、Zoom の通訳機能で日本語を選択ください。お不明な点がございましたら、チャットでお知らせください。So if you listen English, please choose off or just a button at the interpretation function in Zoom. So we would like to start our program with the opening remarks from Mr. Makina from Chetro Kyoto. Mr. Makina, please.
So thank you very much for kind introduction, Raul-san. So Chetro Kyoto, together with Kyoto Prefecture and Kyoto City, has launched startup visa program called Startup Capital Kyoto to support overseas entrepreneurs doing business in Kyoto this April. And you may be aware of my background and also Raul's background, that this is actually a Nijo Castle located in the center of Kyoto, where Edo government returned its authority to the emperor. So this is a place where historical change happened, and we would make adaptation to history happen from here in Kyoto, where historical change happened. So to attract overseas entrepreneurs, now we are promoting ecosystem of Kyoto, and this time in cooperation with Latitude59, which is Estonia big technology event, we have decided to organize a pitch contest by Nordic startups within the framework of Kyoto Smart City Expo. This expo has been virtually from today. So I myself am glad to have this event with Latitude59 Estonia as in station at Kyoto office and covering Estonia at that time. Very familiar with Estonian ecosystem. So Raul-san, who has worked for Estonian government before, will explain about ecosystem in Estonia later, but I'm looking forward to that. So today we're gonna have 11 pitches, as Raul-san explained, and among them we will choose startups to be to Kyoto in the future, and one company to be invited will be chosen by a vote from audience. And please stay with us until the end of this session and enjoy pitches by interesting startups. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Makino. If you allow me, I will basically would like to share a little bit about the Estonian startup ecosystem. It's because maybe, maybe just maybe, like not everybody who's listening us today has actually heard about this before. So yeah, so just for the beginning, Estonia itself is basically a small country, as you know, in Northern Europe. We have about 1.3 million people, and compared to the size of Estonia, that's approximately around the same size as Kyushu Island in Japan. So, but population itself is relatively small compared with even many Japanese local governments. Estonia belongs to most European international organizations. We're using Euro, we're part of Euro, EU, NATO, WTO, OECD, and so forth. Estonia is quite known about our digital government because many things which are topics nowadays, we already started doing those about 20 years ago. And one kind of key thing what we learned is that actually this kind of e-governments or digital country, it's just not only about technology. You have to think also about regulations, you have to think about the organization and the skill set of people. And if you're able to kind of increase all of those in the same time, then you are able to become more digital as a country. In case of Estonia, maybe I will just like introduce a little bit of about the main cornerstones of the digital infrastructure that we have in place since 20 years ago. So one of the main key elements of Estonian government is ID card. So this one, we already have it since 2001, so pretty much from 10-20 years ago. And today, pretty much everybody, every Estonian has one. And it's not only ID with a picture, although you can also use it as such, but it's also a digital identity. So you can actually authenticate yourself online and use many services, public services, but also private services, which is also very important because many people don't use public services that often, but they actually use private services like internet banking and so forth quite on everyday basis. And it's not only like this plastic card, it's also, we have a version in mobile or on actually a smart-based, more smart ID. And interesting fact is that basically with signature has actually saved Estonia about 2% of the GDP. So, and it's quite environmentally friendly effects as well. So if you pile up all the paper, which Estonia has saved monthly, then in 1 month, we actually save as much paper as you can actually build a small hill with the same height as Eiffel Tower. And also we can save about 1 week of working time per year, just having this function in Estonia available for everybody. Second part is basically X-Road, which makes it possible to share sensitive information between government databases, and to do it cheaply, so and securely. So basically, every government institutions, they connect their databases to X-Road, and also many private sector companies do the same. And lots of instead of moving paper back and forth, basically electronic messages exchange all the data that's needed. And also a person is able to authenticate themselves, access the systems through the citizen portal, and see all the information government has about themselves. So, so basically, Estonian government with all those systems, we are clicking all those 3 corners of the security model. So we have confidentiality ensured by ID card, mobile ID, and smart ID. Information like data is actually available through the X-Road, and we are also taking care of the integrity of the data by using KSI blockchain, which is basically used to secure also logs of the requests done over X-Road to make it immutable. So As a result, basically, Estonia has been able to build up very efficient system. So there is estimated digital signature itself saves 2% of GDP every year. And maybe important point here is that Estonia has been the best tax collector in the world for many times. So like if you see, for example, OECD ranking for this, you can see that Estonia, I think it's been #1 7 years, meaning that basically Estonia is the most efficient tax collector. The collection of taxes, the cost for it is only less than 0.5% of the total taxes collected. And when you see different examples, then it's not only about government. So I just bring like a few. So for example, from private sector, from the beginning, banks were on board together with large telecoms and some other companies. And today, internet banking, it's really prevalent in Estonia. Most banks, in their branch offices, nobody's using cash, for example. And about 99% of the different transactions are done online. Or getting closer to our today's main topic about startup environment, actually the time to found a new company in Estonia can be as short as 18 minutes. You can do it online and using the same e-government infrastructure to found the company, but also later to run the company. What is interesting is that Estonia has actually opened this system up to everybody in the world. So in a sense, we have implemented a new term, GaaS, or government as a service. And in the world, anywhere you are able to apply for Estonian e-residency, which already like more than 70,000 people actually have done. And the main kind of benefit you have once you actually become an e-resident is that you are able to found a company in Estonia. So looking at Japan, then today there actually are more than 3,000 Japanese e-residents, and almost 300 companies are established in Estonia by Japanese e-residents. And for Estonia, in total, actually this e-residency scheme has already proven quite beneficial because more than 6,000 new companies, they actually form quite a large part of the total companies in the country. And also, thanks to this scheme, we have turned Estonia kind of like a global platform for startups. So people coming from different countries are able to come to Estonia and found their own companies. So I think that in today's our pitch contest, we have actually some examples of people who have used this scheme and actually set up their companies in Estonia using e-residency as a useful tool. So now moving more towards Estonian startup scheme, but first I'd like to explain a little bit about a good startup environment. I think kind of very simple formula would be this. You actually need two main resources. One is that you need actually very smart and entrepreneurial people who are not afraid to take calculated risks. And then you also need investors with money, and preferably investors who have actually gone through a similar process by themselves, learned how you can actually create companies, how you can create business models, and how you can actually make those companies and new ideas successful. So once you have those two things, there is a hope that you can actually create some, so to say, new Silicon Valley. In Estonia, I don't think that we really have Silicon Valley, but we are walking our own path. But definitely those two things are the crucial elements in every ecosystem. And the second part is that also, like looking at the Estonian example, then when you want to build a digital society, so very often you see those greenfield initiatives when you build up everything very shiny. But in case of Estonia, you actually use a city which has been built like 500 years ago, since 500 years ago, and you can still turn it digital, because digital is not really physical, not always. So you have to actually have this angle as well. And then Estonia, with a compact size, what I believe what Estonia has become is kind of like a test site for new ideas, because already the infrastructure is there. People are quite open and willing to use new solutions. And maybe the main benefit in Estonia is that you're able to fail fast. And when you fail fast, you learn quickly actually the right way of doing things. And as a result, the cost of actually starting up is quite small compared with maybe some other place where it takes time to make mistakes, and it takes even more time to learn about what is actually the correct way of doing things. And of course, like as a small country, the startups in Estonia, they are usually born global. They don't really solve issues that are in front of just Estonia, but they target business models which can be used all over the world. So in Estonia, basically, when we talk about smart money, then everything started with Skype. So that was in also not exactly, but almost 20 years ago, when Skype was founded in Tallinn. And the main founders were actually a Danish guy and a Swede, but the engineering team was Estonian. And once Skype was actually bought by eBay in 2005, also Estonian engineers, they had some shares, and they became quite wealthy. And well, today Skype is already part of Microsoft. But basically what happened with those Estonian founders, they founded some venture capital companies in Estonia and started making more investments into young and promising Estonian startups. So today, when we look at the Estonian startup ecosystem as a total, then there are many more players in the field. I'm not going to describe each one of them, but basically they start by building the culture, helping people to come up with ideas, and actually to do the early stage concepts in Estonia. And once already companies have proven their business ideas and moved to the scale-up phase, then very often the main activity goes already outside of Estonia, because market is not really in Estonia, but elsewhere. But at the same time, companies will still keep quite many of their activities at home. So when we look at the numbers, then actually startups as a sector, as an economic sector in Estonia has become already quite sizable. So we have close to 1,000 startups. Quite many of them are founded by actually not by Estonians, but people who are using Estonia as a platform. And even during Corona times, we can actually see there is growth in terms of numbers of jobs, and also in terms of how much startups are actually paying government taxes. So basically, that's a very fast-growing economic sector in Estonia, what we have. And we are most likely, we are the top country in the world by number of unicorns per capita. So we have 4: Skype, Playtech, TransferWise, and Bolt. So startup visa is also important to get the new people to Estonia. So I'm very happy that Kyoto is also launching similar scheme. And yeah, you could all you can also check out about digital nomad visa and working holiday visa if you're interested to learn more about the Estonian side as well. And one important question is that in Estonia, actually startups and companies as such have very direct connection with government. So in here you can see the government office meeting room, and all those people sitting are actually from startups, whereas the person standing, he's Estonian Prime Minister. So you can actually have very direct discussions between those parties. Increasingly, connections between Estonian startups and Japan are growing. There are more startups who have gotten, I think more than 10 startups who have actually had investments from Japan, and also more Estonian startups are finding Japan as a market. And yeah, and today's event is basically organized together by between Chapter Kyoto and also Latitude59 in Estonia. And Latitude59, that's basically Estonian flagship startup conference. I have been attending Latitude, I think maybe since 7 or 8 years ago, every year, even this year, although this year it was hybrid between online and physical. So, but I was attending it physically. And It's actually a very small kind of cozy event, about 2,000 people participating every year. And very interestingly, in last, I would say, 4 or 5 years even, about 5% of participants have actually been from Japan. So if you think about 2,000 people, then about 100 people every year are from Japan. And this year was actually not an exception. Most, of course, Japanese participants were not able to attend physically, but they actually participated through online channels. And yeah, Latitude is, for me, it's very often it's mainly about networking. I go around, but actually it's different speeches and panel discussions are very interesting and thought-provoking as well. But yeah, I also encourage everybody who will attend Latitude59 in the future also to use different side events and parties and opportunities to meet other participants and discuss and create new connections. So that's definitely something I hope we can continue to do after coming out from this Corona time. But yeah, so that was small introduction from me about the Estonian ecosystem. And now we are actually moving forward to with a pitch session. So we have 7-minute pitches from 11 startups. And after each pitch, there will be 5 minutes for questions and comments from our judges. So first presenter is actually Mr. Kaiho from Sensible4. Sensible4 is an autonomous driving technology company from Finland. And the pitch will actually be in Japanese. So for English speakers, so please use interpretation tool over here and choose English as an interpretation function. じゃあ日本語で聞きたい方は Zoom の通訳機能で日本語選ばなくて大丈夫なのでオフでにしてください。So, Mr. Kaiho, please start your pitch, please.
Thank you very much. それでは皆さん、はじめまして、Sensible4の事業開発ダイレクターを務めております、海保と申します。主にアジアとヨーロッパ地域の営業を担当させていただいております。ではですね、早速これから弊社の簡単なご紹介をさせていただければと思います。弊社はですね、Sensible4と言いまして、フィンランド初の自動運転テックベンチャーとなります。設立は3年とまだまだ小さなベンチャーではあるんですけど、弊社のですね、技術力のバックグラウンドは意外と長い歴史があります。弊社はですね、もともとフィンランドのロボティクス研究所からスピンオフした企業でして、実はその研究成果っていうのはもう1980年代からにまで遡ります。実は自動運転自体もですね、実は1990年代、正確には1993年に実は初自動運転をしておりまして、途中いろいろ怪しいロボットをいっぱい作ってるわけですが、その技術自体はですね、非常に長い歴史がありまして、会社としては若いですが、その技術力というのはですね、非常に長いものがあります。特にですね、悪天候下での自動運転に関しては、そもそもフィンランドという非常に極寒の地で行われていますので、ガレージの外に出るためにもやっぱりそういった技術の熟成というのは長い年月をかけてやってまいりました。で、そもそも弊社は何を作っている会社かといいますと、自動運転のソフトウェアを作っている会社です。主に製品というのは2つありまして、フルスタック、つまり自動運転に必要なあらゆる機能をワンパッケージにしたものを、例えばOEM 様だったり、あるいは自動運転車を作りたいと思っている方に提供しております。でもう一つはモジュールですね。いわゆる同じく OEM 様だったり、ティア1様に関しては、もう自動運転、ある程度持ってるよと。だけどちょっとここまだ弱いんだよねっていう方のためには、弊社のフルスタックの中から必要な機能別、あるいはスタンドアローンで統合可能なソフトウェアモジュールを2つ提供してまいります。で、ここまでで聞くとですね、皆さん、また自動運転かと。もういっぱい見たよと。いらっしゃる方もいらっしゃるかもしれません。おっしゃる通り、世界中には70から80からの自動運転を開発しているスタートアップがいると言われていますが、そもそも何が違うのかと言われますと、弊社の最も他社さんとの差別化というのは、まさに全天候型の自動運転であることです。皆さんもこの中にはもう自動運転乗ったことがあるという方もいらっしゃるかもしれません。 実際もう自動運転というのは理想的な環境下ではもう走ることを世界中の実証実験でもう証明しております。ただ、今後、ビジネスとして使うとなると、やはり大きな課題っていうのは悪転効果、もっと言えばあらゆる環境下で継続的に運行可能かどうかによって、ただの、かっこいい実証実験で終わるのか、あるいはもうそれこそ未来のインフラだったり物流だったり旅客を担えるビジネスとなれるかがかかっておりまして、弊社の自動運転ソフトウェアっていうのは、当然あらゆる自動運転に必要なものも含んでおりますが、それ以上に悪転効果でも、それこそフィンランドの吹雪の中でも動けるというのが一つの売りとなっております。で、そんな中でですね、いや、うちは別にそもそも、OEM でもティア1でも自動車を作ってるわけでもないんだというお客様のためにはですね、無印良品さんとですね、共同開発した、電気自動運転シャトルバスガチャも、提供しております。これも、まさに雪の中で進める自動運転ではあるんですけど、それだけではなくてですね、他の他社さんと比べて非常に速い、40キロで走る自動運転走行モードと、やや大きめのスペースが売りの、自動運転シャトルバスとなっております。で、直近の実績といいましてはですね、去年は主にフィンランドの周辺の都市々でですね、ナンバーを取りまして一般に公開しながら実証実験、パイロットを行ってきました。今年の春もですね、ヘルシンキのパシラという、いわゆるビジネス街ですね。で、いろんな他車種、いろんな弊社のシステムを積んださまざまな車両と一緒に同時運行して遠隔管理を実行し、これまた一般公道で、パイロットを実施しておりまして、次にですね、これからの話ではあるんですが、今年の秋、もうすぐそこですね、に、欧州トヨタ様の車両に弊社のシステムを載せて、ノルウェーにて2つのパイロットを実施する予定ですので、もしノルウェーに行かれる方は、ぜひ乗って行ってください。次の弊社の大きな目標としては、特にアジア地域、特に日本、シンガポールなどに対する各班と、元に支店の設立となっております。で、弊社としてはですね、そもそもメインのビジネスモデルは何かと言いますと、基本的には OEM 様だったり、ティア1様への弊社の提供する自動運転システムのライセンシングとなっております。また、他の自動運転関連企業様へのモジュールソフトの提供も行っておりますので、必ずしも自動運転をやっているからといって、競合になるわけではありません。もちろん、一般車両の自動運転化のプロジェクトだったり、先ほど言ったガチャも提供しておりますが、メインのビジネスモデルとしては、ライセンシングですね。すでにもういろいろな大手企業様とパートナーを進んでおりまして、我々としてはですね、まさにこれを使ってですね、次のステージへ行きたいと考えております。で、当然ですね、ここでいかにうちの技術が優れているかっていうのを説明するのもしたいことは山々なんですけど、時間が押してますので、簡単にうちの技術がちゃんと使われているってことの証明として、弊社は創業以来赤字なしです。常に黒字、それも毎年毎年収益を倍増させてきました。これは我々が10年先の研究結果を売ってるわけでもなく、今存在しないソリューションを売ってるわけでもなく、今使える現実的に解決策となれる技術を売ってるからだと自負しております。で、それを次のステップに持っていくためにですね、これも最後にやるんですけど、2次シリーズ A を考えておりまして、今年の2月にはですね、すでにノルディック忍者様と移動中商事様からは6ミリオンユーロを調達いたしましたが、同じ条件で、今後ですね、第2次シリーズ A を 8.5 ミリオンユーロで、考えております。特にですね、今回重視するのは、特に日本への各班を考えておりまして、もしご興味があるという方は、後々教えていただければと思います。さて、短くではありましたが、ご清聴ありがとうございました。Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, Kaiho-san. So I would like to give the floor to Mr. Suzuki for the comments.
はい、鈴木です。海保さんありがとうございました。大変興味深い、ビジネスで、感動いたしました。いくつかちょっとご質問させていただきたいんですが、
お願いします。
御社の技術の特徴が全天候型だということをおっしゃってますが、それでビジネスを例えば日本ですとかシンガポールに広げていくという観点から見てですね、やはりフィンランド等と比べると日本あるいはシンガポールっていうのはその天候から見ると、そこまでひどくない 状況もあるかなと思ってるんですが、そういうアジア、日本等を含むアジアという観点から見た場合、御社のその強みというのは、薄くなるというか弱くなるというか、そんなような観点ではないんでしょうか。
いえ、決してそんなことを考えておりません。というのは、あくまで例として雪というのを出させていただきましたけど、当然、自動運転、実際、自動運転でなく一般の車両がですね、運行中に遭遇するさまざまな悪天候だったり悪条件ですね、というのはさまざまなものがあります。そういったものにも耐えられるのが、ある意味最悪の最悪である雪にも耐えられるのだから、当然風だったり雨だったりあるいは、そもそも自動運転が苦手とするいわゆる上空に何かある、GPS が来にくい場所だったり、さまざまな悪条件に耐えられるというのが、簡単に言えば弊社の技術の特徴ですので、そういった意味ではむしろ、場所を選ばずできるっていうのは、やっぱり大きな、地域を選ばずできる有利な点だと思っています。
なるほど、わかりました。それで我々も実は京都の、京阪南というところの学研都市で実証実験等をよくしておるんですが、例えば日本に進出して、先ほどいろんなパートナーを求めているということもおっしゃってましたけれども、具体的に例えば我々と実証実験をするといった場合、どんな協力者っていうのがあると一番やりやすくなるんでしょうか。もう少し具体的に教えていただけるとありがたいんですが。
ありがとうございます。弊社が特に日本マーケットを重視している点としては、やっぱり日本というのは公共交通が非常に発展しております。それこそ世界に名だたる公共交通です。我々の自動運転ってまさにラストワンマイル向けのソリューションだと思っておりますので、そういった中で、それが、もちろん一番簡単に目につくのはバスですよね。シャトルバスだったり。ただ、それだけでなく物流もそうですし、さまざまな、ケースで我々のラストワンマイルは、日本の特にインフラだったりドライバー不足に悩む自治体といったさまざまな参加者のために役に立てると思いますので、そういったところでお役に立てればと考えております。
でバスの場合、オンデマンドバスって言ったらいいのかもしれませんけど、日本でもいろんな地域で実証実験されてまして、それをビジネスにするためにいかにその地域に合ったペインっていうんでしょうか、そのニーズに合わせてやっていくかっていうのはかなり皆さんも苦労されてると思うんですが、そのあたりっていうのはなんか、調査というか、日本だったらこんな進め方がいいんじゃないか、例えば荷物を一緒に運ぶとか、病院にお年寄りの方を、過疎地域だったら運ぶとか、いろんなモデルを考えながら各地域が工夫してると思ってるんですけど、そのあたりでなんかお考えというか、どんな攻め手があるというようなことはお考えでしょうか。
弊社のもう一つの大きな特徴としては、実はプラットフォームを選ばないというのがあります。もちろん先ほど例として弊社のガチャ、あれがうちが持っている唯一の車ではあるんですけど、ではなく、例えば、先ほど言った欧州トヨタさんの車に弊社のシステムを載せてとか、っていったぐらいいろんな車に弊社のシステムを載せられるんですね。プラットフォームフリーですので。ですので、さまざまな車に弊社のシステムを載せることによって、さまざまなアプリケーションに同じシステム、同一システムで対応できるというのが強みになってくるんじゃないかなと思っています。多分皆さん、今までいろんな会社さんがやってきたのは、一つの車で何でもやろうということではなくて、一つのシステムでさまざまな車両を動かすというのが、やっぱり重要なポイントになってくるのではないかなと考えています。
わかりました。はい、ありがとうございました。
Yeah, thank you. There's also opportunity for everybody to ask questions from the Q&A function actually below the screen. So we do have actually time for one question if anybody wants to ask from Kaiho-san. But it seems everything is clear to everybody. So
maybe I made too much questions.
But maybe we'll move forward and listen to the second presenter. So second presentation is coming from a company called Kinesix Sports Incorporated, and presenter will be John Albrecht, founder of the company. John, please go ahead.
Sure. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, do you see the screen properly?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, hi, my name is Jan Albrecht, and I am the co-founder of Kinesix. Did you know that outdoor workers, as well as sport enthusiasts, could be exposed to serious health issues while working or performing in cold weather? The three major and common injuries are frostbites, hypothermia, and slip and fall. In 2017 only, the US Labor of Statistics mentioned that there were 20,000 occupational injuries related to ice, sleet, and snow. According to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, slips, trips, and falls account for 20% of all workplace injuries. With cold weather factors in play, this type of accident could increase much more. Talking about sport enthusiasts in Japan itself, there were more than 30 million skiers during the winter 2014 and 2015. And interestingly enough, Japan is the #1 country where it snows the most. Introducing the Exoclima, an artificial intelligence-powered heating exoskeleton that can easily be installed under any coat or jacket. This system consists of 12 independently removable heat pads that adapt automatically to sudden changes in temperature and can go up to 40 degrees Celsius if needed. The remote control attached to the exoskeleton is connected to each heat pad and contains also the battery, which delivers enough energy for 4 hours straight at maximum temperature. Thermosensors are also connected to each heat pad to constantly read the temperature and send the data to our software. It also uses Bluetooth to connect to our proprietary mobile app. We are using machine learning, which is a part of artificial intelligence, to manage and adapt automatically the temperature delivered by each heat pad according to the user activity, but also to the weather conditions around. Our system is made to let the user choose a specific temperature, as well as choose which heat pad could be activated. Regarding the safety features, we added a fall detector, and the heating technology we are using prevents overheating and stops by itself if the system tries to go higher than 40 degrees Celsius. So with this kind of product, we decided to reach out both B2B and B2C markets, seeing the opportunities both markets could offer. And talking about B2B, we decided then to focus on 4 industries such as construction, law enforcement, mail delivery, and electricity, mostly power line workers. And with a total of around 60 million construction workers in Asia only, there is a huge market opportunity. Now onto the B2C side, one of the major industries we decided to focus on is the ski industry. And even if we are hit by the COVID pandemic as of now, the global winter wear market size was valued at $268 billion in 2018, and the rise in product innovations, along with the introduction of smart technology in the winter wear markets, has provided a huge growth opportunity for the market. Unlike our competitors, in addition to the usage of artificial intelligence, our biggest differentiator is that each heat pad is removable and also recyclable. It means that if a pad is broken or malfunctioning, it is possible to replace it instead of throwing the whole product away. All our competitors use carbon fabric sewn into the apparel, which makes their product unrepairable. Our business model is quite simple and consists of either selling the technology as a finished product to a company in a sports store or online, or simply having a license agreement with companies who want to white label our technology. Which brings us to our go-to-market strategy. With our prototype ready to commercialize in December 2020, we will start selling our product on our e-commerce platform, in winter sports store, and to business with a volume of 555 units in the first quarter of 2021. And by the end of 2022, we expect a revenue of $1 million by increasing the number of online sales, placing our product in more winter sports stores, and also increasing partnerships numbered with companies. Then by the end of 2023, we expect to double our objectives and reaching 10,000 units sold during the first quarter of 2024. And in parallel to that, we will take 5% on each unit sold to every company that signed a license agreement with us. Now, to execute our plan, we think we have the best team for that. I'm a kinesiologist who did a master in biomechanics and having an expertise in 3D motion capture and movement analysis. Juan, my other co-founder and CTO, is an electrical and software engineer with over 30 years of experience in industrial design and product R&D. Christian, our performance apparel designer, has over 30 years of experience in her field and worked for major sports companies in the past. We also have a technological advisor as well as many partners to make this project a success. Because we are already planning to move the company to Japan in 2021 with a startup visa, Jetro Toronto office is helping us already with the market research, and we made contact with SMBC, who will gladly support our venue to Japan by helping us opening a bank account and registering the company, but also will introduce our company to their clients and partners. Since we started this project, we made a successful crowdfunding campaigns on Kickstarter and Indiegogo for a total of $80,000 to start prototyping and prove our concept as well. Since then, we were featured on many websites around the world, and we raised lots of traction from Japanese e-commerce websites and distributors, and that is why we decided to focus on Japanese market lately. Also here in Canada, we have started discussing with clothing manufacturer of Canada Post, the Canadian Forces, but also with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police to help them reduce the cost of winter clothes for their 19,000 employees thanks to our technology. Finally, with our vision is to maximize comfort and safety for people while create sustainable product to save the earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John. So this time I will give the floor to questions to Mr. Makino from Monoscuri Ventures.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Hi, thank you for the presentation, John. So I'm Makino on the Monoscuri Ventures. So I have also several questions for you, and so first question, and so my image for the you make as a smart cloth, smart and so wearable cloth, and my image for the smart cloth is not uncomfortable for the people. So so for your product, and so how do they feel? So to wear your clothes, and so how do they feel the how can I say fit? Yeah,
that's a good question. The way the system is made, you can our exoskeleton is made to fit on a lightweight jacket or slide jacket that you can wear under any coat or jacket. So it's like wearing a very, very thin piece of fabric. And as for the comfort, each heat pad is the same thickness as a paper, and it's very flexible. So it's very lightweight, and it's not uncomfortable because it's not compressed around the body. It's like wearing any piece of clothing, actually.
I see. So do you use any wire or something, electronic wire or something? And because so smart clothing, so you use e-thread and something, and so very flexible and so thread. So what do you?
Yes.
What kind of the thread? What kind of the and the wire do you use?
So the way the exoskeleton is made, what we call the exoskeleton, the wires will run across those kind of large bands, and they will connect to each other. It will make possible to connect to each heat pad all together, and will end up by connecting to the whole remote control. But we will use some wires, some electric wires, and they will run through this exoskeleton specifically.
I see. So you mentioned so you want to the license the technology and IP, and so I'm not sure what kind of the technology do you have, and so what kind of the license and do you want to give?
The license is mostly the way the system is made and how it can retrofit any kind of cloth. Because the technology we are using, the heating technology we are using, it's the same technology as you can find inside the car seats. So it's made of carbon ink enclosed on a thin plastic paper.
I see. So do you have any patent or something?
We do apply for a patent. We have a provisional patent but not for this for the heating technology, but for our system and how we can retrofit. Yeah, that's right.
I see. And so you connecting the heating technology to the AI, but I'm not sure. And so do you have any reason to use the AI technology? Because if when I feel the hot and in that case I can turn down the temperature, and why you connecting why do you use the AI technology for this product?
What we want to do with the AI is to predict any kind of drop in temperature, and we will use the API from the weather network to be able to predict the changes of temperature in the area where the user is, and as soon as there's a drop in temperature in an area of, let's say, 5 or 10 kilometers from the person, then our system will automatically and slowly heat up the jacket to make sure that the person will stay warm, comfortable, and not get any cold from the changes in temperature. So that's part of why we're using artificial intelligence. It's mainly to predict and adapt the temperature to any kind of activity and any kind of changes in temperature.
I see. Thank you. And so last comment from me, and the Mitsufuji based in the Kyoto, and make the smart cloth company. And this company from the Nishijin, the Japanese textile and industry traditional technology, and this company make the smart cloth and to use the e-thread, because Nishijin the traditional and weaving technology, and I think you can be good for your company, and the pre-check the company of the Mitsufuji.
That's interesting. Well, I am open with any kind of collaboration I'm open for any kind of collaboration with any company.
Okay, thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys. So time is up. So we don't have time for extra questions, but we have to move forward with the next presenter, who is actually a Estonian company, but maybe not only working in Estonia. So company's name is Car for Future, and presenter will be Kuthulan Hakan, founder of the company. Please.
Hello. Okay. Can you see my screen right now? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, then I can start. Hello, my name is Kuthulan Hakan. I'm founder of Car for Future. Car for Future is blockchain-based energy sharing network and wireless smart charging solution for electric vehicles and corporate fleets. We are focused on a couple of different electric vehicle industry difficulties in that time, and especially Japan and the whole world. There's a couple different main problem in this sector is difficulty to access the charging station, because if you want to use a charging station, your sockets should be compatible the charging station and car as well, and you need to subscribe and always pay the subscription fee for the using. And also it creates ineffective energy consumption and increasing the carbon dioxide emission if you use the fuel car. And it's kind of a problem creating the range anxiety for the electric vehicle driver. Car for Future bring three different segments into one service. The first one is wireless hardware service, software, and blockchain integration payment. Car for Future is providing nearest charging station information, reservation, and online payment service. If you have a personal charging station, you can directly share in the mobile app and also earn money. It's creating the kind of the open platform for the revenue model for every user. Also, we developing the white label solution for the corporates because everybody wants to protect their corporate branding system, and we supporting that kind of white label solution and directly integrate our API, and everybody can protect their branding. And right now, we got a developing to the international and universal socket system, and with that time, we believe that every car can be potential energy provider. And with this hardware system, we can provide energy transfer from vehicle to vehicle and vehicle to the charging station, because the infrastructure not developed yet, and if you need, you can take energy from another car, and sometimes on the day the energy more expensive than the other time, you can transfer your energy to the grid and earn money, and in that time you can contribute to energy consumption and energy transformation as well. And currently our service is valid in the Europe with the almost 1 million market size, and we are focused on the Japan in the first because there's a huge market and 300,000 electric vehicles actively on the road, and we plan to expand to all the Far East and after that to America. And the market estimation is in 10 years is 116 million electric vehicles, and it creates a kind of $22 billion market size. And our effect, especially in the Japan side, the carbon dioxide emission per capita in Japan equivalent to 9.70 ton per person. And according to the investigation, the Kyoto reduced the domestic carbon dioxide emission on average by 7%, but the carbon footprint has not decreased. And as you can see, the fossil carbon dioxide emission by the sector, the most of the time is transport and power industry, and it's directly coming from the automotive and energy industry as well. And Car for Future services indirectly reduce the carbon dioxide emissions, the average 2%. And also we planted the tree on drivers' behalf for every charging station and contributed to the sustainable world and offering the business opportunity to Kyoto as well. Our customer segment separated the 4 different stages: the private users and direct and indirect fleets, and the end customer segment starting from the charging station, the all rental companies, and to the EV drivers. Our revenue model is, we have 4 different revenue model: is reservation processing fee, charging commission, and for the fleet side, an installation fee and multi-charging commission. Then the other service packets like API integration and socket sales price. Currently, the world's 3rd biggest charging station network belongs to us. It's almost 25,000 charging stations actively you can find in the one single mobile app and reach them without any subscription fee. And we have a couple different competitors, but we are focused on our differences because we are not only providing the charging station network, also we are providing the energy transfer vehicle to vehicle and vehicle to the charging station. And also we created the all security protocol in blockchain and creating the opportunity payment with the crypto wallet as well. And also we get our product international license for the users the whole world. We started as an idea in 2017, and we tested ourselves in around the world, and we became a corporate in Estonia 2019. And after that, we have reached Europe right now, and we started from the Germany and directly expand to all the North Europe, and we want to reach the Japan, and after that, the whole world. And our founder team is all of us engineer and the other backgrounds and focus on the automotive industry in the past. And we have an advisor board coming from the automotive and energy industry, and all of them executives that always support us with your experience. For the green and sustainable world, support Car for Future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Very exciting. So I will give the floor for comments to Suzuki-san, please.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you very much for your nice presentation. I was quite impressed of your idea. And first of all, I'd like to inform you that yesterday, I believe, Prime Minister Suga of Japan declared that Japan will become a zero-emission country by 2050. So what you try to do is really good for Japan. So you have a chance to do a good business in Japan. That's my first message to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and the question for you is how do you evaluate the Japanese market? Because I do not know how many electric charge stations are existing in Japan. How do you evaluate Japanese market? Is it good enough at the moment? You need to wait for a while to improve the electrical station.
Right. Okay.
Much more.
Right now, this is the perfect market in Japan because the charging station amount more than the fuel station amount actually. And right now, 303,000 electric vehicle actively on the road, and currently almost 400,000 charging station actively giving a service. And all of the charging station has a very high technology, not old AC technology. All of them is DC and HPC, and providing very fast and effective charging to the all electric vehicle driver. And also it's separated public, workplace and home place, and the best infrastructure in Japan right now.
Okay, so if your technology has been introduced in Japan, so who will manage your whole system?
From a hardware or software side?
Pardon?
Who you are asking for hardware or software side?
What did you say?
No, I'm asking that you think that who manage our service in Japan?
Yeah,
And,
yes, if you introduce your technology, blockchain management system in energy cell and buy system, your company will manage the whole system by yourself, or you ask someone else to manage the whole system?
Company may manage the whole system or ourselves, but the system works independently. This is the main thing of the blockchain. We creating the crypto cloud system, and every car and every charging station represented by the keys, and every transaction, the keys match each other, and we keep the all data secretly independently for the better user experience. And also creating the loyalty program with blockchain, because every charging session we providing the feature coin, and you can do free charging. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, understand. So what are you expecting for Japanese partners?
First, we need a new center in the forest, and the biggest economy and the strongest one, and the strong technological background has Japan. We want to meet with the prestigious partner and potential the customer in that, and also we want some kind of the research development support from you. And after that, we are looking for the new investment opportunity in that area.
So what you said is you start with a kind of collaborative R&D, then expand your business in Japan, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any specific name of the R&D sectors?
Of course, the automotive and energy first. We producing the sockets, and Yazaki is a good partner for us. And also the Toyota and Honda has a very strong. And Toyota make an agreement with the Panasonic and creating the new battery system. And we want to develop the new. We also contributed to new battery technology for the better driver experience.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So as we are a little bit behind the schedule, so we are moving forward. And actually the next presenter seems like the changing time in Estonia has changed some things. So like we actually jump a little bit, and the next presenter will be a company called PhaseGrowth. and Rosen Dimov is the founder of the company. So if you're ready, please go ahead.
Hello and good afternoon or good morning, everyone. I hope that you can see my screen. Hi, we are from PhaseGrowth, and we have been working on a problem that is there right now in Estonia, but it's scalable worldwide. This is a problem that there's plenty of useful space data out there, but it's currently not being used in logistics. That logistics suffers from a lot of issues related to inefficiency, and one of the easiest solutions here is firing the unskilled workers. So this has a huge social side effect. Just one of the big Estonian companies has fired nearly 2,000 people this summer. Over 83% of the workers work in the small and medium-sized companies, and these companies actually lack the resources, the infrastructure to train their workers how to use space data in navigation. What we're offering as the solution is PhaseGrowth. It's a navigation software tool that helps logistics providers improve route planning using a mix of weather, physical environment, and location data. All of this comes free from the space. We built content on it, and we help SMEs in logistics to navigate. Right now, we see a big market worldwide. We're trying to scale up from Estonia, and our next target would naturally be Japan, and this is why we have applied to the program. Currently, the business model is based on a subscription that has several channels, and in year one, this includes the fee per user, fee per data volume, and fee per category, so a bundle of this user and data volume. And in year three, we are planning to introduce a few more revenue channels to make this experience even more tailored to the needs of the companies. We have several key milestones. We have become partners with the Estonian logistics cluster, and this has secured us access to all the logistics companies in Estonia. So this has speeded up all the market research and sales process and helped us to align our product with the needs of the companies. We have built a team, a full-time team of 5 people, and one of them has a background related to Japan. In this team of 5 people, there is diversity of skills and competences that are complementary to each other. So we have everything needed to continue building our product. And currently we are taking pre-orders. So there are 5 companies in total that have paid a monthly fee of €9,304 calculated on the number of users and volume that they're going to use. And we continue with pre-orders before our market launch. While we're doing these pre-orders, our client service continues. Actually, it's supposed to finish just in a few days. Then we are going with the smooth beta testing, and we hope to receive 15 pre-orders by the end of November. This will allow us to be in market in December, and by April we'll have 73 loyal clients. Somewhere in between we'll have hopefully a legal entity, and we'll be getting into Japan. And after we reach our break-even point in October 2021, we hope to also focus on our Japanese operations thanks to the program. As I mentioned earlier, we have a great team with complementary capabilities. Previously, I have worked in data fusion projects, managing them and working on the software side as well. Salome is our educational expert that has worked with the World Bank in a number of vocational education projects that have helped the retraining of workers from various sectors. And she has a master's degree in education, leadership, and innovation technologies. Yuri is our business guy who has also the connection with Japan. Georgi is the person that has the geospatial background and is the engineer that combines the data from the satellites. Anna works on design and UX. This is how our prototype currently looks. It takes data from the real environment, mixes it with the data from the satellites and environmental data. Why Kyoto? Why Japan? It's the reason is that the European Space Agency and the Japanese Space Agency have a tight cooperation. It's actually the first cooperation that the European Space Agency started. So within this framework, there are a lot of facilities to pool space data and create new services, new opportunities. The second reason is that Yuri from our team that you saw in the previous slide has graduated in Japan. He finished his bachelor degree there. He speaks Japanese, so he will be the person that will lead all the contacts and would establish the company and deal with the operations. Kyoto is a major hub in logistics. There is the Prologis Park that is very important for us. And there is the, this is at the intersection of the Meishin Expressway and the second Keihan Highway. So this basically gives access to all the major logistic destinations in Japan, allowing us to do a very interesting use case and to demonstrate the technology locally. Finally, we have already engaged in cooperation with a company called SpaceShift in Japan that also has interesting contacts and network that we are planning to use in going local. And we have been in touch with the Global Brain, which is a Japanese investment fund that works with Japanese investors as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Rosen. So I give the floor for comments, hopefully short, for Mr. Yoshito-san from Tallinn, please.
Thank you, Rosen. Nice presentation. I just want to ask one quick question. You mentioned that the space data is not used efficiently in the logistics industry. Could you explain me that specifically, like what kind of the problem that they have?
Yes, the reason here is that this data is complex and it needs certain skills to be read. Whereas in the logistics sector, you have a lot of the operations that are still being done manually and that are performed by blue-collar workers that in the best situation would have vocational education. But the space data from Copernicus, Galileo, and similar satellite systems is not widely used in companies. We have been in touch with logistics companies in Estonia that have confirmed about this, and this has helped us to establish our use case. Perhaps the situation is similar in Japan. We are yet to find this out. But just let me give you an example. One of our companies called HHTA, that I'm sure the colleagues from Latitude know. It's a logistics company that deals with the movement of containers. And a lot of their problems arise with the movement of these containers during this movement process from the ship to the harbor, and then going on trucks to the end delivery point on the road. Many of these containers get lost, broken, damaged. And the reason that we have established in our contact with this company, which has also become a pre-subscriber, has prepaid their fee, is that they do a lot of the operations manually with a crane that is operated by humans, and the workers that operate this crane do not use this navigation data that is available out there. The reason is that people might not know about this, companies might not know about this, and even if they know about this, it seems difficult, and it seems to them that they need some investment, that they need to do something additional to adopt this technology in the day-to-day operations of the companies. And you can imagine for a small and medium-sized company that does not have the budget, that is pressured by coronavirus, and by greater expectations of the clients, it means that a solution like PhaseGrowth could help them to resolve many of these issues and improve navigation, improve route planning, improve the movements of these goods, leading to direct benefits for the company, but also leading to a social impact by sustaining jobs in this sector as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we have actually one more company coming from Estonia, like Christian from videoCV is actually online. And Christian, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Good morning or good afternoon.
So please go ahead.
Yes, 1 second. So I cannot turn my video on. So you can see only my slides, right?
Yeah, I think so. But slides we can see already.
Yeah, okay, great. So I'm Christian. Nice to meet you all. I'm from videoCV from Estonia. We are based in Estonia as well right now. But we are looking, we launched in January this year, our new product, let's say, and we are looking for international growth. And Asia is one of the opportunities for us because we see that our product fits to Asian overall Asian culture, and in Asia it's much more convenient to record videos for about yourself, or let's say selfie videos. So it's becoming more and more normal in Europe and the USA as well, but it's already very commonly used communication way in Asia already many years. So videoCV problem in the world is mainly a bad hire can cost up to $240,000 in US. So it means that hiring a not great fit for your company and holding these, let's say, employees in your company for a long time, or at least a longer time, it can cost up a lot of amount of money because they don't do as well the job as the good hire will do. The second problem is that most of the recruiters or almost statistically all of the recruiters decide if the candidate is a good fit by one similar aspect when they are hiring a new employee, and it's a personality. So personality and soft skills are growing exponentially when companies are making their hiring decisions. And also, most of the companies don't make a hiring decision before meeting the candidate, before seeing candidates face to face, if it's live in the office or it's via video call like we are doing today. So, and because of that, half of the interviews are waste of time, because you don't get to know the person before meeting them. So based on CV or paper-based resume, as you want to call it, it's very hard or even actually impossible to say if this personality is a good fit for my company. And also there is one big problem more, that phone screening process is very time consuming and inefficient, because you can get to talk to your candidates via phone, but you don't really see the personality or anything about the person from the phone. So it's very time consuming, and it doesn't give you at all a good overview about your candidate. And as we know that the remote work is the new norm in 2020 and growing, so we also are trying to surf that wave. So I introduce you videoCV. It's a video-based screening and hiring tool. How it works is really simple. Here you can see just some mock-ups about the product. So it's really clear and clean and easy to use for the candidates and also for the companies. So you can understand everything, how it works, and it's really really easy to use. And how it works is pretty simple. You need to hire a person, first of all. There is a need. Then you can create the job ad in videoCV platform. So basically you can create a landing page where you have all the information about your job, about your company, anything your applicants need to know. After that, you advertise your job posting. If you use any kind of job boards or LinkedIn or Facebook or social media overall, or any channels you use today. Then applicants or potential applicants see your job offer. They want to apply. They come to the landing page. They get all the information. Then the applicant just fills out the regular information like name and email, and then they answer to your questions. So company pre-make the questions, and then applicants answer to these questions in a video. So what happens next is that company receives the candidate videos, so we call them video CVs, and they can share these videos inside the house, so with your colleagues, and you get the feedback from your colleagues as well, what they think about these candidates. So you can make a hiring decision all together, and you will see already personality, their soft skills, their communication skills, everything you cannot see from a CV, and what most recruiters say actually is the most important part of making a hiring decision. And after that, you just continue with your regular process. If you are doing the live video conferencing call with your candidate that you see that is potentially a good fit, or you have a face-to-face meeting in the office with them. So CVs and motivation letters can be faked. We all know that everyone can write in the CVs and motivation letters what they want, but in videoCV you cannot fake it. So videoCV is a real thing, and you cannot let the friend to do it. So our traction from January, over 1,350 people applied using videoCV. Over 137 companies registered in our platform, and over 200 hirings made through our platform. And you can see our new candidates and new customers growth. So it's growing like pretty step by step, but steadily. So we have helped to save at least 2,600 hours of our companies, of our clients' time. And this is worth about 65,000 euros actually. Our clients, maybe for Japan market, it's not very attractive, but we have, let's say, biggest Estonian company Tallink using our service, one of the biggest banks in the Nordics, Swedbank, using our service, and other big names as well, like Tele2 Elisa is the biggest telecom companies in this region. And some feedback from them as well, and I can send the pitch deck afterwards if you want to see more. We have got very good stories about us in main, let's say, newspaper, business newspaper Äripäev, also like main startup or digital, let's say, publisher DigiGenius writing about us, and also in the one of the biggest TV shows during evening is Õhtu, or evening show, and they invited us to talk about what we do there. Why now? Definitely is the main question. The number of companies using video interviews to hire staff spiked by 67% in the past 4 months because of COVID. So it's a very, very strong growth, and we can see it as well that this is the really good time for the service of our kind. And also by 2050, 90% of internet traffic will be video content. So we already see that YouTube is already the biggest search engine after Google. So it's only logical way to move hiring processes into the video as well. And also by 2050, Y generation will make up 75% of global workforce. So it means the people who today growing up with the Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram videos, Facebook videos, and so on, they are the main employees and global workforce in 2050. And they are really used to record their videos and talk and communicate in the selfie videos. So it's again showing the right trend to work with the product our kind. So the market size potentially, of course, there is over 370 million job openings per year globally during last 5 years. It's a little bit few millions down and few millions up last 5 years, but overall it's over 270 million job openings per year. So for our pricing model, it means like over 61 billion euros in the world altogether if we can reach to all job postings to use our service.
Christian, can you finish in 30 seconds? We are like out of time.
Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah. So you basically market sizes, we are trying to attack small and medium enterprises, and especially like service companies, as they are potentially the best kind of clients for our service. Our business model is simple. So you pay per hire. So it means that every hire you make you averagely pay 200 euros, and 2,500 hirings that we are trying to reach is altogether 500,000 euros. So very fastly, our unique advantages is fast localization, our candidate analytics. So we analyze candidate videos with our AI, and we can tell you that if the candidate is more like introvert, extrovert, how energetic they are, and so on. Our pricing model is different from our other competitors, our brand is really strong. videoCV can tell you what we do and what we are. So we don't have an app, so it's really easily accessible for any kind of company anywhere. And it's, as I said before, it's really clean and clear to use for everyone. Our competition analysis, so we can say that we are the most easy to use technology and most affordable technologies compared to, let's say, similar or direct competitors companies. Our team, you can ask more about the team later on, and yeah, that's what we are looking for for our next 18 months expansion. So really quick ending, but thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Christian. So Yoshito-san, so you have opportunity for one quick question as well.
Thank you, Christian. It was a very good presentation. Personally, I used to work in the HR and in charge of the recruiting, so I'm especially interested in it. One question is that in some countries, the recruiter don't want to see that the candidate pictures on CV because to avoid the claims from the candidate that the company declined because of the color of the skin and the race. What kind of problem do you have to avoid this kind of problem?
Very good question. Very good question. The main thing is to use our product as a second step in recruitment process. So it means as a first step, you're still looking for a CV and you select out, let's say, like 20, 30 people you want to meet, like you usually would invite to the interview, but then you invite them to record their video CV. So then we are just if you are afraid of discrimination, then you can use us as a second step. And that's what companies do who are afraid of discrimination. And yeah, that's how our clients have used us and how it's really working and is not discriminating anyone.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And we're ready to move forward. So next company will be Altilium Magna, and Christopher Lee will be presenting. So Christopher, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'll share my screen. You can see it. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Christopher Lay, and I'm one of the founders of Altilium Magna, a startup based on a culmination of 7 years of battery research and my PhD dissertation. The problem with my research solved and Altilium Magna is planned to be commercialized was the inherent uncertainty in battery estimation and, more importantly, prediction. Basically, it's hard to tell what a battery is capable of. You can notice this on your own devices. Your phone can never seem to predict correctly when your battery will be empty. This is often called the end of discharge uncertainty. And your phone seems to have less time between charges, which is normally called the state of health or capacity degradation. These small examples are exacerbated when applying them to a commercial setting. Accurate range prediction and capacity degradation are critical in systems such as satellites, UAVs, and electric buses, whose autonomy is directly dependent on their battery. The current solution is not an elegant one. Typically in these commercial settings, the first step is to oversize batteries and essentially restrict the use of a portion of battery or a reserve in order to compensate for capacity degradation. Then secondly, they have a large error in estimation, so any prediction exacerbates that error. So they are compensating by waiting for the system to stop and then recalibrating. These two approaches have huge implications in costs and autonomy in satellites, UAVs, and electric buses. Arbitrarily adding additional weight to a satellite is a very costly perspective. When launch costs can be anywhere from $8,000 to $30,000 per kilo, oversizing a battery can literally add millions to launch costs. On top of that, due to the uncertainty and capacity degradation, operators tend to ground satellites prematurely, which forces them to launch replacements more often. Oversizing batteries in UAVs and electric buses also has significant impacts, as weight is critical and limiting range artificially decreases the system's viability and adds cost. Finally, recalibration in these systems is basically infeasible. Consider a UAV flying from its base, or electric bus on a route, or even a satellite in orbit. None of these systems can just randomly stop and recalibrate. So technically, the problem in battery estimation and prediction stems from the uncertainty in the internal resistance of the battery cells, which can't be measured. This is typically called the polarizing impedance, which is simply a model of the internal mechanism that dictates the cell voltage, what we can measure, and the capacity degradation. The problem with polarizing impedance is that it's proportional to current drawn, the amount of energy in the battery, the capacity degradation, the cell temperature, and even how we use the battery. It's a hard problem. But understanding and modeling correctly allows us to give accurate estimation and prediction of all the states of a battery. So how do we solve this battery estimation and prediction problem? The hybrid neural adaptive space-based model. It's a learning model of the internal polarizing impedance of the battery, which constantly adapts to the changing internal characteristics of the battery cells and combines this with decades of phenomenological studies and battery characterization. The NASM allows us to generate accurate estimates of both the current energy and power in a battery, typically referred to the state of charge and state of maximum power respectively, as well as it accurately estimates the capacity phase referred to as the state of health. By having accurate estimates of the current state and the accurate model of the response of the battery, we're able to generate precise predictions of when a battery will run out of power, called the end of discharge, or when a battery will no longer have sufficient capacity to be useful, usually referred to as a remaining useful life. As a result, one of the significant improved precision is no longer necessary to oversize batteries or recalibrate. So how does this work in practice? All commercial battery systems typically have a battery management system. These systems communicate with other subsystems via a common bus called a CAN bus. Our application can be thought as a periphery or an add-on to a BMS system, as it simply listens and logs voltage, current, and temperature data from the cells via the CAN bus, and then sends this to the cloud for adaptation of the NASM, and the generation of the desired metrics. Users can access these metrics via an API via the cloud or through the same CAN bus on the onboard system. There's also an opportunity for a completely onboard system. So why is now a good time for this technology? Well, global warming has shifted almost all states' policies towards the electrification of vehicles and public transport, which has in turn shifted the focus to rapidly improving the capacity and longevity of batteries, particularly lithium-ion technology. This urgency is also putting pressure on industries to reduce costs across the supply chain, so batteries continue to get cheaper. In short, the battery market is exploding. So how big is this opportunity? There are about 400,000 electric buses on the road today and about 2,500 satellites in orbit. In the next 2 decades, it's expected that 67% of the world's bus fleet will be electrical, totaling 2 million electric buses, as well as 11,000 new satellites will be launched. Operators typically spend in the order of several $1,000s per bus on BMS systems, and satellites cost about $1 million to launch in battery weight alone. So we can easily see that battery optimization problem is worth north of $10 billion in both of these markets, and that's what we're aiming to get a slice of. In addition, there is a new emerging markets like the commercial use of electrical UAVs, as well as urban air mobility movements, both of which battery weight is going to be critical. So how can we monetize this? Well, we would charge a one-off installation fee for the hardware and then a subscription model for all future ongoing data analysis. Who's our competition? Well, there are several emerging players in the predictive battery analytics market, but it's still a market in its infancy. To illustrate the potential of this market, I'd mention a German battery analytics company called Twice, which was established in 2018 and received about 12 million euros in funding to date. We believe that fundamentally we have the best technology because we combine the advantages of traditional phenomenological and adaptive machine learning models, so we can successfully compete with companies like Twice and are orders of magnitude better than traditional battery fuel gauge approaches like those manufactured by Texas Instruments. It's worth mentioning that the significant barrier to being successful in this market is a deep technical knowledge that's required, which limits the competition severely, even from existing BMS suppliers. So what's our next step for us? Well, we have proven the technology in the laboratory extensively and have countless research articles on this. Our next step is to do a pilot project to validate the specific metrics in the industry and create a business case that demonstrates the value of our technology, as well as enable us to further commercialize. This would take approximately 6 months, depending on the scope. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, Christopher. So give the floor for comments to Mr. Makino from Monozukuri Ventures, please.
Yes. Thank you for the presentation, Christopher. So I'm Makino, the Monozukuri Ventures. So I have also several questions. And so I think it's a very important problem and how to measure the battery. And so I don't know that. So for my case in the smartphone, the battery and the capacity is very important for me, and it's the same problem for the other and the vehicle and the other product. And on the other hand, and so for this problem, several companies already deal with also make some solution for this for the problem. So do you have any competitor? So do you have any the other competitor in this field, in this the market?
Yes. Well, so basically, firstly, I'm a researcher in this field. So our publications are state of the art. So every single publication that we've done on this has compared to the current state of the art, and we are superior than the current state of the art. In terms of competition, the typical applications in terms of like what's available in chips now are decades behind the state of the art actually in academia. As well as they require like things like I mentioned Texas Instrument and those battery fuel gauges. Companies like Geely and others use those technology right now, and they're typically based on a technique called Coulomb counting, which is essentially the integral of the current over time, and that is subject to a significant amount of drift, and they rely on the ability to stop the cars at any particular time, like say you're not driving it or it's charging, to recalibrate their systems. This is the typical norm for almost all commercial applications. So the competition is not that steep, to say the least. But yeah, we've done extensive market research, and we work closely with a lot of companies, and have been communicating with BMS manufacturers and as well as manufacturers like Geely to see what their current level of technology is.
I see. Thank you. So in this case, and so you the hybrid the current and the measuring technology and the AI and the learning technology and for the measuring, and in that case and do you have any and competitive advantage for other company?
Well, the analytics themselves is our competitive advantage. So the model itself doesn't exist anywhere else, as I came up with it. But that's just an initial, essentially, advantage. Basically, what happens is once we have market presence, or we start to use this on our on systems, the NASM learns the internal states and how the evolution of the internal battery characteristic evolves over time. So that cements and those are unique to every single battery. So it's not a simple matter of replacing that with an existing technology. The NASM itself has learned the unique characteristics of the battery and how it's used. And each of those are individual to the cells. And we can monetize and essentially cement our advantage because the model has learned the characteristics of these batteries.
I see. And so you mentioned the one of the business model and the subscription model. And how do you charge and how do you give a subscription model for the customer and the partner company?
So, like I said, we're at the stage where we're trying to start a pilot project. So we haven't got to the point of commercialization, but our projection is that the subscription model will be based on, as I mentioned, the application through the APIs. So the onboard system would extract the data, and either you pay a subscription fee to access that via the CAN bus or via the API on the cloud, where the analytics are calculated.
Okay,
so
I see.
So yeah, essentially you restrict access until they pay the subscription, basically.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you. And so the last question, this time and how do you and come to the Japanese market? How do you connect the Japanese company and
Well, Japan has a significant presence in the battery market, so it will be about integration within the supply chains, particularly at the level of the battery manufacturer and the BMS manufacturer. The idea would be trying to integrate into the verticals of supply chain, because essentially one of the main problems with this industry is the tendency for each layer of the supply chain to add their buffer to the so the battery cell manufacturer adds a buffer, the BMS adds a buffer, the operator adds a buffer, and there's no communication along the supply chain. So all those buffers add up into an extremely inefficient use of the battery. So what we aim to do is we aim to expand those verticals and essentially manage the capacity accurately of the battery and allow them to eliminate that buffer, so the user and all the supply chain can essentially alleviate themselves of that problem. Because it all boils down to the fact that each one of these levels is essentially assumes the layer above them doesn't have knowledge of what's going on with the battery. So they add this buffer as a safety margin. All the way to the operator. The operator doesn't know how to sell this to the customer yet. So they say, okay, we're going to sell it like a traditional internal combustion engine, and say you can get 500 kilometers per tank. But that doesn't work in a battery, because essentially the battery initially starts off with significant amount of energy and then degrades over time. So in order to sell it in the exact same way, they reserve that buffer and say, I have 500 kilometers to this electrical vehicle, but don't use essentially 300 kilometers initially, and then wait till the battery degrades to that 500 point to say, it's time to replace the battery. So they can always maintain that 500 kilometer range. But it's fundamentally flawed, because you're essentially removing the benefit of the oversized battery by claiming that you need this buffer.
Okay, I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's all.
No worries,
about me.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think we are now ready for the next presentation. So we are going to Finland this time. So Mika Pyhtiä from a company called Megical. So Mika, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So please go ahead.
Okay, let's see if I can share my screen with the presentation and confirm you see the blue Megical screen.
We do see it. Thank you very much.
Okay, starting. Hello, Kyoto. I am Mika Pyhtiä, the CEO of Megical. To explain why I founded Megical, I have to tell you a little bit of myself. I'm a former fighter pilot and an airline captain with Masters of Science and over 20 years of experience in information technology in designing, implementing, and consulting quality, safety, and risk management systems in the airline industry. I founded Megical 2016 because something happened in my family. Wise. First, my wife had a medication error during a hospital stay, and in 2015, my youngest son was misdiagnosed after an emergency when he was only 2 years old, and he suffered a tremendous pain for 24 hours for the delayed care actions. These patient-safe errors were made because medication was not administered and diagnosis was carried out according to latest evidence-based medical protocols. But it's not doctors or nurses that want to make mistakes when they take care of the patient. It is that sometimes workflows is very difficult to use within healthcare. So Megical was born with a mission. We make safe care easy. And Megical started with the mission with surgery clinical workflows, because it's a high-risk complex workflow. We got many clients, 2 continents, and after 3 years, our customers have successfully made over 18,000 surgeries with Megical Safe Surgery platform. But when Megical started to integrate to electronic health records, we ran into a data security.
Okay, it seems that Mika was cut off. So maybe we will be back soon. Let's wait for a minute or two. So.
Hello?
Okay, you're back? Okay, we have been waiting.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I changed the Wi-Fi. Confirm it now you are in the problem screen. Poor data security.
Yeah, that was a screen, but we cannot see the slide at the moment. We can just hear you.
I will relaunch my slide. Please wait a second. Yeah. There are some international connectivity errors. So I'll just open my application here with the presentation. Just a second. Did you have the network error too? Mm-hmm. Okay, I will now share the screen again and confirm you will see now the problem slide.
Yeah, we do see it. Yeah.
Okay, so the problem is data security, and when in many countries, because of this data security problem, the countries are regulating patient data with high security standards. As in Estonia, you have the smart card digital identity. In regulatory development, there is one security standard that is becoming the norm as de facto standard for every country, and that is the smart card, which is the same security standard that is used in international banking and also in international travel, as passports are using smart chips technology. Megical, secure and easy platform for future health, which is based on mobile and cloud, makes this problem go away. With Megical, doctors and nurses can securely access, use and sign patient data from any modern mobile device with ease. Megical business model is highly disruptive for the current technological vendors, complying to increasing regulatory burden with patient data security. Before Megical, a big hospital needed an investment around $10 million for equipment and infrastructure for mobile workflows that are done with high security. With Megical cloud-based solution, every mobile device can now be used as an access device, workflow device, and a signature device. Advanced Megical cloud technology is coupled with deep expertise in contactless smart card technologies, and we have a patent pending for the core technology. The platform makes current technology used today irrelevant and obsolete, as you saw from the previous picture. Megical is the HIMSS Elsevier award-winning platform for delivering easy workflows and always secure communication channel and easy deployability with low cost. Obviously, competition is fierce, and Megical is a niche player compared to US-based segment leaders. But Megical has chosen its niche very carefully and focused in health and mobile-first contactless technology. So we basically do one thing only, the smart card with any mobile. Megical niche is a big addressable market of billions of dollars and estimated to grow fast. When Megical is making the current healthcare hardware irrelevant, this paves the way for greener and more sustainable future for digital health. Megical is currently operating in Finland and in Brazil, and we are targeting the Japanese market of digital health, and we are seeking partners and channeling investments to join our mission, make safe care easy, with very lucrative business model. Megical is a team of 12 professionals, and our fantastic four in the management team has over 100 years of combined experience in the relevant sectors of the business. We acknowledge that further recruitment is needed, and also an advisory board must be established for Japanese go-to-market. Our team is asking high-level Japanese investors and startup accelerators to join our mission. We make safe care easy. Thank you. Sorry about the disruption, but it was something wrong with the connection, but hopefully you get all the slides.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mika. I think you did very kind of nice and compact presentation. So, and I definitely think that your solution, that Japan definitely needs something like that. But I will give floor to Suzuki-san. So please, Suzuki-san.
Okay, thank you, Mika-san, for your nice presentation. And I thought I first ask you why you get entered in this field, but you clearly answered the question already. I was quite impressed with the answer. And as you may know, Japan is well behind digitalization, DX, in various fields, including medical fields. How do you find Japanese medical market? Can you apply your technology in Japanese medical market now? You have already investigated the situation in Japan?
Yes, we can. I have talked with head of European healthcare market in Finland in Fujitsu and met with 2 Japanese doctors from London in Fujitsu, and they said that their market is really ready for safe platform because the Fujitsu is the electronic health record market leader, and we can obviously integrate to Fujitsu, but the channeling is something that we have to work on. The technology part is not difficult, but the relationships and channeling is the most hard part, and that's why we want to hire talent in Japan to help with that or partner with different vendors.
So if you want to get into Japanese market, you work with SIs like Fujitsu or some other companies. Is that right?
Yes, that's our target.
So you have already found at least one partner in Japan, like a Fujitsu, right?
Yes, but no, we have only had initial discussions, and actually this platform is only live in 3 months for now, only because the technology is so new, and the Finland is the first country. We have one elderly care home running the whole platform, but as you saw in Estonia too, they rely on smart cards, but this will be a 2 to 5 year project, and we are now ahead of the competition, and we just need to connect to these big electronic health record vendors fast, and that's why we need investment.
So how much amount of money you need for your investment?
We are seeking 250K for compliance and legal issues, 650K for go-to-market and channeling, and 750K for design and technology, and especially for the integration. So it's 1.5 million.
So you mentioned that you can compete with other your competitors. How can you explain a bit more about why you say so? What is your strongest point?
It's boiled in the business model, which is based on technology. Nobody in the world has currently done a nationwide regulatory doctor smart card with contactless mobile technology. Because, for example, Apple released their NFC chip in their ecosystem just about 6 months ago. And in Finland, the first contactless smart card, as you saw, Estonia, everybody is using card reader devices. They cannot do contactless yet, but Finland was the first country in the world, and it released a contactless smart card for the doctors in May this year. So this technology for healthcare has been available, as I said, for 3 months, but we have been building it for 1.5 years because I, as a chairman and the CEO of the company, wanted to make safe care easy, and I bet the company on this secure mobile platform, which works with smart cards only.
Okay, I hope you can push DX in medical fields of Japan. Thank you.
Yeah, let's hope so. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think we are now ready for our next presenter. So this will be Aivaras Pakanas from Lithuania, and the company is Millo Appliances, or Millo Appliances. Please.
Hello. I hope you can hear me and see me.
Yeah, it's
Konnichiwa.
perfect.
Konnichiwa. My name is Aivaras. I'm from Lithuania, from capital city Vilnius. And we are the kitchen reimagined company. We are a startup who is disrupting the kitchen industry and the way how we prepare food in the future. Actually, the trends, the global shifts is that, the living space is getting more and more expensive. And we have new design criteria, new criteria for functionality and how it should be smooth and compatible with all this surrounding about us. we more and more are health aware, and we get more and more trainings about that food is either drug and medicine for you, either poison. Personalization topic is very important because everyone is different, and even diet is different, and we cannot use the same recipe for everything. So the technology, the same, should be personalized to our, let's say, my own controls or my own habits or my own way of doing food. And humanizing tech means that we want that all technologies would work like a single ecosystem, like a single platform. Now we have different apps, different manufacturers, different brands, and it's really hard, especially for elder people. It's really hard to make sure that everything is possible to use. And actually, big brands you see on the screen is already trying to show the vision of the future kitchen when everything is combined and seamless and integrated, etc. And we see from Panasonic, we see from IKEA these visions, but they are lacking one thing. They're lacking the technology at the moment, how to have a powerful torque in the kitchen. They have heating, they have all the connections, they have recipes, but the powerful torque or rotation is missing. And Wireless Power Consortium, these guys for 10 years are developing the technology, but still it's not ready for the market. And this is our vision of Millo Appliance, how the future kitchen will look like. So it's everything integrated into a smooth surface, and everything is really slim and sleek design. And our magnetic air drive induction is integrated into any surface possible to integrate to have really powerful torque for rotation. And we bring here the topic of autonomous cooking for better living. It means that recipe till today, you can control the temperature, you can control the ingredients which you put into recipe, but we bring new layer. We bring measuring of the food consistency with our technology, because now we have something similar like you do with the fork. You smash potato and you try and taste it if it's ready for next step, right? So now we can do that with the technology, measuring the consistency of the food. And then let's say if on an example, we have a pumpkin soup, it can do the pumpkin soup till the end, to blend it even, because we have the core of technology is this magnetic air drive with the blades or with any kind of steering tool you need. So we made really compact engine. It's really small, really fit design, so we can fit it into a surface. And the main point I would like to highlight here is sustainability, because at the moment in the kitchen, I believe you have like 5-6 different engines, one for coffee grinder, one for juicer, one for blender. So you have to produce different engines, you have to produce different electronics, and then to recycle them after that. With this technology, you could have in the future kitchen one engine which is capable to do everything. So it's one engine, you don't need even to produce. So don't think even about the recycling about that. So one engine in the kitchen doing many different functions. It's smart. So we bring software layer into the control of the engine. And that's why we can, give people smart algorithms. We can give people, this autonomous cooking and many different features. If we compare with the Wireless Power Consortium, as I said, these guys for 10 years and really millions of dollars, they developing the technology, they got to the point that they can make wireless kitchen appliance, but that's all. With our technology, like I said, it's not only wireless, but it's integrated, it's smaller, it's more sustainable, and really less noise. And first product we show to the market at the moment with this technology, with a magnetic air drive, it's this all-in-one platform, a smoothie blender. It's a portable device, really small in size and really beautiful design. We got 2 innovation awards, which is like a base for many different functions. This month we launching the product to the Europe market with the blender function. In next year, we're planning to do coffee grinders, juicers, baby food containers. So the same base will be with different accessories. And actually, it's this magnetic air drives really brings different, user experience, because between engine and between the blades, there is no any mechanical connection. This is magnets. So wirelessly, we transfer really powerful torque. That's the main advantage. And with this blender, we want to, from one side, we want to make some money to develop the technology further. From another side, we want to prove, to show the traction of the market that people want to have technologies which will, you know, help in better diet, in better, you know, habits of making food at home. So our roadmap looks like this. Next year, we're releasing the new accessories. So people who bought Blender today, they will still get compatibility and they will get software updates, new functions, new features. But the main thing is that we want to develop this technology and combine it with the induction. So imagine in the future, now your induction cooking has only heating function. If we bring our engine in the middle of the induction coil, and combine those two technologies into one, we would have in one spot, we could be able not only heat, but the spin and grind and blend, whatever. So powerful torque rotation in the same spot. And that opens totally new experience in the kitchen and what we are talking about, that future kitchen. So in 2023, we want to come up with big corporation, combine induction together with our technology. And then the final is this future kitchen when it's integrated totally in the surface. The market is huge. Even if we start with the blenders now and those accessories, the like juicers and baby food, but ultimate market is this induction hobs and induction cooktops market, which our technology brings both sides extra benefits, because we kind of influencing the technology, like our magnetic air drives becomes like a standard for you know, future kitchen. So many different manufacturers can use the same technology from us to make accessories like pots, smart pots, which could be using autonomous cooking, and it could be built in induction cooking. And because it's run by app and software, we can get the community behind that. And that's very important, that community would share, you know, the recipes and would be part of that growth and that scale. This is our co-founder team. Myself, I'm from sales and did one hardware startup before in Lithuania, pretty successful. We have a great guy in technologies, and he was doing engineering products many years. And my partner Ruslanas had a lot of experience in business development. In CES in Las Vegas this year, January, we presented already this cooktop demo table, which our technology was integrated, and we did pancakes. So we got a lot of awareness, over 1 million views on TV, etc., etc. And immediately we got you know, calls and contacts from these big companies like Eurocera, one of the biggest glass manufacturer in the world, supplying Electrolux, supplying all the induction cooking guys. They want to cooperate with us. So we ready now for production of the portable blender. We already produce it in Europe. We ship this month to Europe, next month UK, and then we scale a little bit. We have innovation awards. We have design awards. And most importantly, we are in deep conversations with Electrolux, how to implement our technology with their induction technology, with Eurocera, with Miele, VMF company as well. Till today, we raised 1.5 million euros like investments. This led us, you know, to produce the product and get to manufacturing point. Next year, April, May, we are looking for scale round, for Series A round, about 5 million euros to scale this technology, and really we want to get some strategic partner involvement as well, like those big companies like Panasonic or Electrolux, who is strong in induction, and we are strong in our magnetic drive, so we could combine and really make the golden standard for the future kitchen. So that's all from our side. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Aivaras. So, like, I think Makino-san is ready for his comments.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation, Aivaras. So I'm Makino on the Monozukuri Ventures. So I have several questions for your presentation, and I think that you know that there were a lot of the kitchen tour company in around the world, but most of the company succeeding in the fundraising of the crowdfunding. But after that, most of the company, it's very hard to the fundraising for the venture capital and for the next business development. How do you overcome? How do you clear solve the problem? So for your the company.
Yeah, so that's why we are not focusing only into Blender as a product, because we know we are not able to develop new products and new innovations, and we don't want to become, you know, second Samsung or second Panasonic or whatever. But that's why in this Series A round, we are really looking to get a strong partnership, like strategical investment from companies like Electrolux, Panasonic, so they would become part of our idea. And because we need their support in R&D and induction and combining those two technologies. And yeah, the induction hub market is huge. It's like 18 billion in Europe only. So we really need strong partners. So our goal is to become now part of the big corporation, then to develop further, because we have so much ideas and we know that we can be faster and better into you know, disrupting this specific market. And then ultimate goal is that that corporation would acquire us fully, like we have in the market with Anova in US, acquired by Electrolux or similar examples. So
I see. So you want to make a partnership with the several consumer electronics, the company, is it correct?
Yes, partnership with one of the biggest initially, because I think they will want to secure this technology for them exclusively initially, but then ultimate goal would be after some period, they would open the technology for everyone, because then another companies can produce, you know, accessories for that technology compatible with this kind of standard.
Yeah, so in that case, and so what kind of the technology, what kind of the idea, so do you want to sell? Because then in that case, and so do you have any the patent and technology?
We have a patent for the blender at the moment, and we are developing the second generation of the motor, because first motor which we use now was a regular BLDC motor from the drones, and we just combined that with magnetic coupling technology, and we adopted according our operations. But the second engine we already developed from the scratch, knowing about the kitchen industry and where it will go. So that second engine will be able to patent the utility of the how we use that technology, and then we want to license it. We want to license it through licensing model.
Okay, I see. So for the next and the step, and so to connect and make a business partner, but so far, and so how do you make a business, and so how do you what kind of business model to the next step?
So at the moment, the first step is today is to sell blenders in the market, to show that we are capable to attract customers with this technology. It gives a lot of better user experience, and it's really easier for people to adopt healthier diet. And in the same time, showing that technology is capable to work, you know, in environment, and then in the same time to agree with big corporation to invest into us and develop the induction. Like I have the induction coil and our technology now, they are separate. We want to make it one, like this, one spot. So we will make money out of the selling the blenders and accessories initially now in 2001, and in 2002, 2003 we start getting the licensing fees from using our technology.
Okay, thank you. So last question. So do you expect for the Japanese and Japan was the Japanese and the company, and what do you expect, and please tell me.
So it's very simple. Japan is very high in adopting new technologies, and they are always leading the world with the technologies in general. So that's why, let's say, Panasonic is one of the big good examples, which is leading in that area in the future kitchen. So if we somehow would be able to, you know, connect with these guys and seriously discuss how we could become partners and how we could help with our technology to be faster on the market, because everyone is going to that direction for sure. Even without us, you will have the kitchen after 5 or 10 years, like I showed in the pictures. But with our technology, we have it today. So they don't need to develop themselves. So Panasonic and Japan as a market, and in general, elderly community and elderly people, getting more and more elderly, we need technologies to help them to prepare food at home. And this COVID situation showed very, very specific things. People stayed at home and they started to use products like that, blenders and wood, you know, appliance. So we in really good timing right now. So that's our vision.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. So I think we are now ready for the next presentation. So next presenter actually is coming from Czech Republic, GuardIoT, and I think Thomas will be the person who is giving presentation. So Thomas, are you ready?
I'm ready. Just give me a second. I will share my screen. Can you see my screen, please?
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Perfect. Konnichiwa, everybody. My name is Thomas Pulharik, and I am a co-founder of GuardIoT company. And this is the last Japan word you will hear from me, because my Japanese is really limited just to my martial arts teachers. Nothing I can use in this pitch. As you know, I like to start my pitches with some jokes, because it opens the atmosphere and it's not that serious. And this is actually the joke we all know in cybersecurity environment. And as a cybersecurity expert, I know that we are no more laughing to it, because we know that the humans are always the biggest problem of the IT cybersecurity. And in IT cybersecurity, yeah, people. In IoT cybersecurity, this is a slightly different story, because everybody was laughing to it mostly till 2016. In 2016, there were two relatively massive attacks. One took down 1/3 of US infrastructure. One took down very basic life environment of Finnish people. And we are encountering more and more cybersecurity attacks, either driven by IoT devices or actually happening on IoT infrastructure. One would expect that this will increase the general, I would say, knowledge and feeling of the users about the situation. However, these are results from our real projects. These are results of our scanning of IoT and IP camera infrastructure. And here you can see that when we were measuring the IP cameras, nearly half of them, we were able to take a full control. We were able to use them as a botnet, use them as a base for the attack, or take over the video. And when it comes to firmware checks, where you're usually protecting against zero-day problems, nearly three quarters of these cameras can be completely, they fail the test, which means that the general problem still persists. There is a very bad device configuration in IoT. There's a very bad network configuration because people are usually treating these networks and these devices as some sort of second-grade networks. Actually, Japan is quite advanced in this, because we know that because of the Olympic Games, there was planning some massive testing in Japan. However, this is a continuous process. This leads to, in average, 100 million IoT attacks per year. And these are the data we have from various cybersecurity companies, which are measuring on honeypots and test these type of attacks. IoT networks really do represent a big potential problem, and it's happening. It's happening on OT environments, it's happening in IT environment. We are solving this by providing solution, which is actually testing the device configuration, testing the net configuration, and providing data for automatic correction practically every hour. However, we can even increase the frequency of these tests. And the solution is relatively simple. We do provide physical probe, which is on open source hardware. We have our own proprietary software in a framework which can be very easily expandable to multiple devices. We are now focusing on this physical security and IP cameras, but it can expand it to anything else. We provide our own management system where you can manage all these probes and all the data. However, you can also take the data, push it to any security system, like any SIEMs, like CyberArk or these, and use it further. It's very simple to use. You just take the probe, you plug it into your network environment, define the subnet you would like to test, and then it starts testing, and it pulls data for your security systems. What we do protect against are these three major risks. First is the creation any type of botnet. Either the botnet is used for example, mining, or botnet which we use for DDoS attacks. We protect against the risk of video stream recording theft, which is very serious case now with all the GDPR and privacy protection laws. And we also do protect against configuration network breach risks, because many of the problems are coming from the fact that the camera networks can communicate openly with the internet or can communicate openly through the organizations, and nobody is aware of that. That's not a fact that this is a known problem, and just people say, yeah, that's a camera network. We don't care. The solution can be deployed directly on premise. You can take all the stuff and deploy it on your own dedicated networks. It can be on dedicated cloud or dedicated software as a service. You just take the probe, install it into your network, take the management system, install it on your cloud. It works. Or you can use our own shared cloud service, which you will take only the probe, plug it into your network, and log into GuardIoT cloud. What are our customers? We do concentrate now on municipalities. We have initial traction in critical infrastructure, and we also concentrate on IoT and camera manufacturers, which we see as a big potential because we do provide for them the assurance that their secure devices, which are usually secure by design, are not wrongly configured by the users. And therefore, the attacks will then cause even legal potential problems for the manufacturers. Our initial traction is now we finished we have in progress and we finished 3 municipality proof of concepts. We have 1 manufacturer proof of concept in preparation, and we have 1 university proof of concept. Till the end of the year, we will have a 15,000 euros charge revenue. And right now, our, let's say, go-to-market and sales process is that we do direct sales. As a early revenue, per-revenue startup, we're selling directly through our network. Fortunately, our angel investor is actually general director of one of the biggest camera and municipality systems provider in Central Europe. However, we want to expand to online and cloud sales. Right now, with the release of our cloud, we are able to sell the probes directly all around the world. You just put the probe into a network, connect to our cloud, and it can be easily scalable on the online level. We definitely want to concentrate on creating partner network, and we do start some basic cooperation with manufacturers. We already have some initial cooperation with one of the manufacturers of the smart lighting. We're talking with initially with companies like Panasonic and Sony, thanks to the Latitude program. And we definitely have some cooperation with some partners who are partners of Bosch, which was our first and initial, let's say, contact with manufacturers. As a market, we see it as a huge market. IoT market, these numbers are sometimes ridiculous when you see these 520 billion euros of IoT market. Our niche, what we concentrate on, are security surveillance systems like cameras, and which is 61 billion euros, and IoT security is estimated for 16 billion euros. All these numbers are dwarfed by the predicted expansion of these markets over the next 5 to 10 years. You know, the IoT and surveillance systems are actually becoming more and more omnipresent. Even in Europe, where the, let's say, political tendency to suppress the surveillance is relatively strong. In Asia, it's actually even bigger. What we see as our opportunities in Japan is that is high technology and IoT-driven country. It was said here before, Japan is really the country adopting to technology and as a leader. And we see it as a big potential because we are working on system and solution which is protecting this technology. We see also a big advantage in Japan. It's when it comes to surveillance systems, the system and business is not politically compromised. To be completely honest, big Chinese manufacturers actually do represent risk in critical infrastructure in all around the world. And we already found several potential problems with these. And we see Japan as a much better partner for expansion, and especially access to Asian market. We already, as I mentioned, we already have some discussion with initial discussion with Sony and Panasonic. We already have some of their devices in the lab, and we're already working on testing these devices in the networks. When it comes to competitive analysis of the market,
Thomas, we need to kind of in 30 seconds if you can. So.
Okay, I will speed it up. What we see as our let's say solution USPs is that we can deploy into standalone segments. We can have a network anywhere around the globe. You will put there the solution to work. Our niche and beachhead specialization is IoT and cameras, physical protection. And we do active testing, which is a big difference when it comes to our competition, because competition is usually on passive testing. We do actively testing the network. This is our team. We have experience from various companies when it comes to cybersecurity. And we started in 2019. Company was incorporated in 2020. And our ambition is actually to expand more to OT environment and defense environment, where we already starting some discussion. We are now raising 250,000 euro in pre-seed round. We already risen 100,000 euro in bootstrap round for 10% of the equity. And that's it. Thank you very much. And I'm more than open for questions or any comments.
Thank you very much, Thomas. It's super interesting. So, Suzuki-san, I'm sure you have many questions. I think you're muted.
Okay. Thomas-san, thank you very much for your nice presentation. I'm sure there is a big market in Japan. And but I want to ask you some questions. The first question is, what is the advantage in your technology? How do you overcome your competitors?
I mentioned it before. I believe that one of the advantages is the ability to deploy it even in fully enclosed environment. We already have a proof of concepts with some municipalities, and their main request was, we don't want to let you communicate anywhere else to any cloud solution. We really want to have everything in our environment, which is relatively rare. For example, Armis, one of our competitors, which is more senior company, does not allow that. They use the cloud solution. GuardIoT doesn't allow it, for example. Another big advantage, as I see it, is our ability to actively test the environment. We do not do it on passive listening. We really do test the whole environment. So you can even find the, let's say, sleeping devices, some rogue devices, which is relatively common in IoT environment. Some of the networks we tested were a real zoo. It was supposed to be just a camera network, and there were 50% of various other types of devices where people were putting there. And also this active testing allows to identify type of devices. Because one of the results of the case study, which I have, is that we find out there were 16 cameras which were supposed to be very secure German manufacturer, really some super secure stuff in super secure network. Actually, there were Chinese opcos with even Chinese firmware running there. If you will be just listening to the traffic, you will never find this out. But if you're actively testing the environment, you have a better chance. Another advantage of this approach is that if there is any change in the network which can cause the breach, you will find it out if you do the active testing. You will find out that somebody opened the network to any next subnet, which is, for example, the controlling of the traffic lights. One of the breaches we found is that from a camera network in the city, you can get to the controls of the traffic lights.
Okay, so you have, as I said, potential very big customers in Japan. That this means there are people not good at installing your software and devices. How do you help them install your software?
What we work on is, I mentioned it, pure simplification. You just plug the box in. And you will provide the network connection to the backend, and the backend can be either in our cloud if the security allows. It can be in your cloud. You will just deploy the management system there and start actually deploying data, or it can be even in your on-premise. And the installation of the management system is easy. It's a box. You put it there and you provide the addresses of the probes. We're trying to do it as simple as possible. You know, from my experience, I am actually working in cybersecurity around a decade. I'm teaching it on the university. I was managing the teams of the hackers for the attacks. This should solve the problem that you need to do the penetration tests and these things every quarter. We're doing it every hour, and it's sort of robotic. You put it there, it's working. It's continuously feeding you with the data. Our ambition is actually to get situation that will auto-correct the things, like the firmware updates and these things. But that's the ambition for the future. But right now,
okay, sorry, I missed what you said. But how much does it cost when I buy your service today?
Right now, our pricing is about 1,400 for initial scan, when we will give you just the idea what the hell is going on in your network. And for continuous service, we're charging 500 euros per month per one probe. So it's if you compare it to people you have to pay for such services, it's very cheap. But our secret sauce is actually the automation and simplification of the process.
You have patent, right?
Actually, we don't have patent because we build in our own framework. It's a software. We will probably register the industrial patent, which is based on the fact that we have our own physical probe, our own physical, our own software, and we deploying it directly into the network. However, this is a cybersecurity environment of vulnerability assessment. Not sure if we except for the registered patent, we can register patent. Maybe once we get further in the technology, because some of the technological parts we do are quite unique, like testing of different network layers and these things. We already, in this initial stage, we already building relatively unique stuff.
We are out of time, actually, so.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
So if you're satisfied, maybe we can move on. Okay, thank you very much, Tomasz. So next company, next one will be SpinDrive, and coming from Finland, and Nikita Ushegov will be giving us a presentation. Please, Nikita, are you ready?
Yes, thank you very much. I'll share my screen.
So we can see it.
Please let me know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So hi, my name is Nikita, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Finnish company SpinDrive. And in SpinDrive, we are democratizing levitation and making magnetic bearings available across the industries. We're reducing customer equipment lifecycle costs by 35%. Around 40% of the electricity worldwide is consumed by rotating electrical machines. However, these machines are not efficient from the process perspective and require massive maintenance. Original equipment manufacturers, or OEMs, would like to improve their process efficiency by switching to the higher rotational speeds. However, this high speed causes other problems. First of all, bearings in high-speed machine cause around 70% of all failures. OEMs are missing in-house expertise to design these bearings, and solutions available on the market are not flexible and extremely expensive. Also, conventional bearings carry risk of oil contamination. SpinDrive solves these problems by providing design and serial production of active magnetic bearings. Magnetic bearings are levitated the rotational part of the machine, completely eliminating friction. They consist of the actuators, controller, and sensors, and have a similar operating principle as a maglev train, but for rotating machinery. With our solution, the system efficiency is increased by at least 10%. It allows payback time below 2 years and mitigates 200 tons of CO2 emissions annually. Our system is completely maintenance-free, which reduces the overall equipment lifecycle costs, maintenance costs by 80%. And we don't need any lubricant, which means completely oil-free operation, and it gives an access to the OEM to the new markets like food and beverage, water treatment, and so on. And with our built-in sensors, we are ready for condition monitoring from day one, which ensures reliable operation of the whole OEM unit. Altogether, SpinDrive reduces customer equipment lifecycle cost by 35%. SpinDrive provides design tailoring of the magnetic bearings with the engagement fee. In our serial production, we provide magnetic bearing units for the original equipment manufacturers with a competitive price. And this forms around 65% of our total revenue. After sales, we provide extended warranty service and condition monitoring service as a subscription-based revenue, which forms around 25% of our total revenue. SpinDrive is focused on the original equipment manufacturers of turbo compressors, organic Rankine cycle units, turbo blowers, and microturbines, where the total market is 4.3 billion euro. Our beachhead market is oil-free compressor manufacturer, where the market is 2.9 billion euro and around 10,000 units are sold annually. SpinDrive is one of the enabler of the future markets, including hydrogen transportation and utilization, hybrid airplanes, small modular reactors, fusion power, and flywheels. And these future markets, together with the current markets, hold the potential to sell hundreds of thousands of SpinDrive units. Compared to the other AMB players on the market, SpinDrive provides design tailoring and flexible cooperation model, which is not currently available on the market. And our system is at least 50% less costly than the competition. And these advantages are based on more than 35 years of research behind SpinDrive and our patented modular magnetic bearing controller. SpinDrive has paying customers in Europe and Asia. We're cooperating with the Finnish subsidiary of one of the biggest Japanese manufacturers. We're running the projects with the leading companies in our target markets. We have purchase orders for 300,000 euros for our units and LOIs for more than 3 million euro of product deliveries annually. We got grant funding over €500,000, including Horizon SME instrument phase 1. And last year, we raised our seed investment round led by Butterfly Ventures. Our team has 4 co-founders. So we have years of industry experience and insight from high-speed machinery and active magnetic bearings. We have insights from our target markets. Our sales are led by the professional with more than 25 years of experience in B2B sales to OEMs. And we have international diverse advisory board. SpinDrive is currently looking for 2 million euro Series A rounds. Key milestones to achieve are hundreds of units sold in 2 or 3 verticals. First condition monitoring subscribed units, partnerships for cross sales, and more patents filed. So please join us in our journey towards energy efficient and maintenance free machinery. And let's make Japan carbon neutral by 2050 together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nikita. So Makino-san, are you ready for some comments? I think you're muted. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, Nikita. So thank you for the presentation. So I have also several questions for you. So the presentation. So as for the competition page, and so you mentioned the efficiency and the customization, and so, but so I'm not sure why can you do the advantage in the please in explain that again. So why?
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, what we have is our special AI-based design tool, and compared to the competition, we can make the design tailoring of our system in a matter of hours because we use this kind of as an expert system. So yeah, we don't need to spend time for this analysis, and all our previous designs are already in the system. So it saves a lot of time for the time and money for the design, first of all. And the main advantage is our modular controller. So with this controller, it allows to cut at least 50% of the product price. This is because this controller fits the whole product range, which we have our target product range from 50 kilowatts up to 2 megawatt. And we're using integrated power modules in our solution. So currently, the competition, they're using the discrete models. And with our integrated power models, which are very widely used in the drive industry nowadays, we can drop the price and ensure the necessary reliability and redundancy of this industrial product. Also, if we go above 2 megawatt, we have the patent pending application where several controllers are working in parallel. So it means that we always use the same hardware, controller hardware, and we scale with the scale of manufacturing, we reduce the production cost dramatically. Also, what we provide is the very flexible business model. So we outsource the hardware manufacturing, including, let's say, actuators and the controllers to the OEMs. Sometimes it's very, very attractive for them because it can reduce the overall cost of the product, but still we have our healthy margin from the controller sales. And finally, we provide the digital twin control. So we have the digital twin of the plants, and it adjusts automatically to any challenges and any changes during the process. And also it allows us to have the, let's say, plug and play installation and commissioning. So our engineers, they don't need to go, I don't know, to Brazil or Japan, for example, so we can do remotely the commission process.
I see. So yeah, so strong point in this AI-based design tool and so modular controller, and so why don't you just other companies just imitate so your product and don't catch up so your production?
Yeah, so of course that's based on more than 15 years of research to get to this stage. It's the integration of the hardware and software, and we believe that any kind of competitor, they need to spend at least 2 to 3 years. Plus, of course, all the key technologies already have international patent or patent pending. So we protect this in kind of long-term competitive advantage.
I see. And so the next question is ask for the business model. And so you mentioned so you want to distribute by the subscription model. And why do you just provide a subscription model? So what kind of data so do you need and so something?
Yes. So we have 3 major revenue streams. The first one is just the kind of engagement with the customer. It's like the design fee for tailoring our system to their specific need. It's around 10% of our revenue. The let's say 65% of the revenue comes from the magnetic bearing unit sales, actually. So this is the transactional model. And the subscription model is after sales. Let's say we provide extended warranty and this condition monitoring, because part of our system, we have the built-in sensors. So we can get a lot of information from inside the unit, from inside the machine. We have a very powerful embedded processor, which already post-process the information. So we can provide not only the raw data, but actually meaningful data for each particular application, like turbo compressor, turbo blower, or organic Rankine cycle unit where our system works. So with this subscription model, we actually provide this condition monitoring and fault identification opportunities, which reduce the overall costs of the unit operation.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you. We're actually out of time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
So thank you very much, Nikita and Magnusson. So now we are going to our last presentation. So company is called Thread, and Keith Portaluzzi is going to present. So Keith, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me well?
Yep, we can hear you.
Thank you. Can you see my screen properly?
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Thank you. So Thread is building the all-in-one digital workspace where asset managers build and share their investment reports. And if you're not familiar with what an asset manager is, those are professional investors managing money on behalf of third-party institutions such as sovereign funds, pension fund, ultra high net worth individual. And what's critical for them is to be able to come up with the best investment ideas they can for their clients and to be able to justify their investment decisions. And so they have always had the need to collaborate and communicate. But recently, those two pillars have been challenged because of the biggest sanitary crisis of our times. They need scalable communication to work as a team, especially in a remote setting. They need transparent communication to face the new challenges that larger distributed team creates. And they also need to deliver sustainable investing solutions to their clients who have additional requirements for their money management programs. And so the stakes are high for asset managers. This is a huge industry with over $100 trillion in asset management across many asset classes. And those asset managers need to consolidate and are turning to merger and acquisition in an attempt to solve the problem of slowing growth and falling fees because of greater competition and technological disruption. And so this is a state they're already in. And if you add the remote work setting and more technological investment to make, they're struggling to keep up with those changing paradigms. And how leading players are adapting? Well, they first collaborate to deal with that situation, building, for example, a culture where the best ideas win. One of the most famous hedge fund in the world, Bridgewater Associates, is famously known for radical transparency, speaking up your ideas. You can go digital. BlackRock, the largest asset managers in the world, partnered with Microsoft recently to move its infrastructure into the cloud. And you can also scale operation by engaging in merger and acquisition, such as Invesco buying Oppenheimer funds. But large players can develop their tools internally, whereas mid-sized firms lack the critical size to adapt to this new paradigms. And as a consequence, they build their investment processes on suboptimal tools. So this is literally how an asset manager works, with 3 different computer screens, each having their own tools running on it. The first screen is to route orders, send, buy, and sell order on the financial market. The second screen is basically to search and extract information from news outlets, the internet, search engines. And the third screen is the decision toolkit, a sum of tools that they use to actually build and share their investment thesis. And believe me, the first and the second tool, they're already being improved over the last decade by big names such as Bloomberg or Thomson Reuters. But the third screen is still a pack of tools that were designed in the 90s, such as Excel and Word. They were built for single users, and they are not quite relevant for a post-COVID world. And so at Thread, we created the only workspace truly designed for investment teams to build, write, and share their most complex investment thesis. One of the benefits is removing organizational silos to unlock operational efficiency by allowing teams to collaborate together. Second is the ability with our NLP AI engines to uncover extra financial insights from documents, which is particularly relevant in the current financial environment. And third, when someone leaves the company, you always have your company knowledge stored into the cloud to avoid loss of information. And this is easily installed. It runs on the browser, so you don't need costly setups or training. It's just to log in on your space and you can access from any device. To wrap it up, I would say that Thread is providing a tailor-made design for asset manager tool that is also designed for teams. And in the current financial software space, most of the players are focusing either on single users or general purpose applications. And also they're focusing more on getting more data to the investors. We enable investors to harness big data that comes from Bloomberg, from Econ, from news, and turn that into investment insights to fight information overload, which is one of their biggest problems right now with so many information around. Our customers are very happy. We're in a beta, private beta with some of the largest asset managers in Europe. And we help them adapt with a new situation, which is remote setting for asset managers, which is new to them. And the other is that we provide them with a single source of truth so that no information is lost on a single computer, on a single presentation, into emails. They are all gathered at the same place, and we allow them to collaborate in a non-disruptive way. Our development is to continue to grow in Europe, but obviously to set up international operations in Asia and Americas, where two of the biggest asset management markets are. And our go-to destination for Asia has become over time Japan, because of, I will say it later, our close ties to this country. And Japan is one of the largest asset management markets in Asia, along with China. And our team consists of 5 experienced tech professionals with a diverse cultural background, plus a team of 5 developers, freelance developers working across the world. We ourselves are a remote, working in a remote setting to be able to collaborate with the best talent in the world. And so we're already collaborating with people in Asia and people in Americas. And you may wonder why Kyoto, when Tokyo is such the big financial center of Japan. Well, I really think that Kyoto shares some common characteristic with Berlin, for example, in Germany, which is very affordable, culturally rich, has excellent infrastructure and temperate weather. And it's actually, it has become over the last years one of the hottest place, startup center of Europe, even though the financial center of Germany is Frankfurt, very far away from Berlin. But I really think that growing seed stage technology startups require just more than close access to clients, and something that I think Kyoto can offer. And myself, I've been studied at Keio University and previously worked at Tokyo, so I'm a bit familiar with those two environments, and I really wish that the company we're building can develop in such a beautiful city. Thank you for listening for my presentation, and I look forward to answering questions.
Thank you, Keith. So, Yoshito-san, like, are you ready for some comments?
Yep.
Sure.
Thank you, Keith, for the nice presentation. I'm a bit surprised that you have studied in Japan and then you have founded this company. Regarding the Japanese market, how would you support customers? As you know that many Japanese people don't speak English, and then compared to your competitor, like a giant competitor, they have full support in Japanese. So how do you compete with those companies?
It's true. Fortunately, working on the financial markets require an English proficiency because all the information is distributed in English, especially for large companies. It's regulatory constraints, even in Japan. So Japanese investors know at least how to read and understand. They have a really good English level. So we can connect with them really efficiently. Bloomberg is an English, is made in English, not in Japanese. But it's true that you have cultural differences and regulatory differences. And for that, well, we're working with AXA, for example, one of the leading French insurance company. They have huge operation in Japan. So they will probably help us, we're working on it, starting operation in Japan with their local subsidiary. But we also need support from the Japanese ecosystem to help them, because we're the only one here. Actually, Bloomberg is not our competitor. We still need to work with Bloomberg when you're an asset manager. You see, you will continue working at an order management system, an analytics provider. It's just that we are sort of making the Office suite, Excel, Word, more tailor-made for asset manager, meaning that we will be rather partners than competitors for them.
Okay. But beside that, this language and culture, what do you think the most, the biggest obstacle to enter the Japanese market, and how do you overcome it?
Decision times for purchasing such softwares are long. So working capital is something we have to manage, long purchasing patterns. We have to involve the CEO, the CDO. This is a tough thing to crack. And so for that, we are not looking especially for funding, but for advisors who can help us open the doors, meet the right person. This is one of the biggest challenge. The other one would be cybersecurity. How to overcome specific tests that Japanese corporations have in terms of data security and cybersecurity.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So, so today we have actually heard all 11 startups to make their presentations. And now we will enter like 10 minutes for the judges to actually consider. And come back basically here in, after that, around like 5 o'clock in Japanese time. But everybody else, like, don't leave the channel. And during the judges are considering, then please actually use the voting system that we have here. So it's basically like under the lower end of the screen. So you can actually see each startup. And the thing here is that you have to choose just one, not two, although there are like 2 questions. So you choose either from first 5 or from second part 6. So yeah, so please do that. And this is really important because one of the startups will also be chosen as a favorite of the public. じゃあ、本日出場ありがとうございました。今から2回投票画面が表示されていると思いますけれども、最初に1から5番ですね、次に6から11番が表示されているですので、1社のみですね、投票するようにしてください。よろしくお願いします。So I think judges have finished now the consideration, and we are back now. So as I mentioned in the beginning, all the winners will be invited to Kyoto next year. Of course, considering that coronavirus condition allows for it. Also, there might be opportunity for some to join acceleration program by ATR, KGAP+, to make some POCs, proof of concepts, with Japanese companies. Selected companies for this acceleration program, they will be notified later by each company directly. But I think now we are ready for the moment everybody is waiting for the most. So, Makino-san, maybe are you ready to make the announcement?
Yes, thank you very much. So all the presentations are fascinating. So it is a very hard decision, but discussion among this, we decided to select 2 startups from judges. So we're gonna invite 3 companies in total, including another companies from audience. So we selected first Sensible4 from Finland, and second one will be Altilium Magna
congratulations, like some emotions. I don't know. You can maybe show it like from clapping or something like that.
Oh yeah, thank you. I just didn't want you to hear me screaming out loud, so I was unmuted.
So welcome to Japan next year.
Oh yes, thank you. I'll be looking forward to the Shinkansen trip from Tokyo to Kyoto.
Yeah, me too. It'll be very good. Thank you very much.
And Marcus, and you will also announce favorite from the audience.
So from audience, I think I think almost all the startups got votes, and the competition was very high. But finally, the audience chose SpinDrive.
So SpinDrive, congratulations.
Hey, great.
Welcome to Japan. So in total, we have actually 3 startups today, which are going to be invited to Japan next year, we hope. And of course, like if you are interested to have a meeting with them, like from the audience, then Kyoto actually has also contacts. So
We kind of lost you there.
I cannot hear you.
I think Raul-san has dropped.
Oh, left.
again, I'm back, but you cannot see me.
Yeah,
but,
back. Okay.
Something happened. I don't know. But yeah, so basically, video streaming will be available until the end of December from Kyoto Smart City Expo homepage. And yeah, so if you want to check.
Again, I think. I think we cannot hear Raul's voice, but so video streaming will be available until the end of December at the website of Kyoto Smart City Expo website. So if you want to check it later, please visit the website of Kyoto Smart City Expo. So this is the end of this event. So thank you very much, Mr. Makino from Monozukuri Ventures, and also Mr. Suzuki from ATL, and all of you being with us today. I hope that the event was both stimulating and rewarding for you. So thank you very much, everyone. So have a nice day.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.